So when you're coaching youth football, there are 3 principles you need to focus on, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want a winning football program, these principles are tried and true. The good guys, the good coaches focus on all 3, not just 1, not just 2, but all 3 of these principles. The 3 principles you need to focus on is to teach, critique, and repeat. I'm going to say that again. Teach, critique, and repeat. Let's break this down real quick. When I say teach, you need to teach walkthrough, drills, and demonstration. You need to teach through walkthrough, drills, and demonstrations. Show the kids how it's done, be hands-on, and teach your kids how to properly execute their form and fundamentals, all right? Number 2, critique. This is the one that most coaches miss. This is the one that a lot of the coaches say, well, it's all about fun, right? No. You have to be able to teach the kids and also critique them to make sure they're fundamentally sound, all right? So when I say critique, I'm talking about you need to focus on hands-on correction of their stance. You need to focus on correction with their form, their technique, and you need to give constructive criticism. Don't be afraid to get on the kid if he's doing something wrong, but you have to back it up with positive feedback, okay? So once little Johnny got his wide receiver stance incorrect, you want to critique it. If he keeps doing it incorrectly, you need to have some kind of criticism or some kind of punishment, so to speak, to be able to correct that issue so he can get it corrected. Once he corrects his mistakes, now you can give the positive feedback, and that's very important. Don't just be an asshole, right, and critique the kid and don't give him positive feedback in return. And number 3, you want the kid to repeat the correct actions. That's very important, because see, what happens is coaches teach, they don't critique, and the kid is doing the form wrong, and they don't do constructive criticism. So what happens? The kids start repeating the wrong form, the wrong fundamentals, the wrong stance, the wrong techniques. And now you got a bad team on your hands because the coaches failed to critique and correct the mistakes. The great coaches know how to critique and have the kids correct the form and then repeat the correct forms over and over and over and over again. And that's how teams get really good at what they do and get fundamentally sound. So make sure the kids repeat the exercise correctly, the drills correctly, the plays correctly, and make sure you give positive feedback, okay? Again, positivity is super important. And then positive reinforcements. In other words, if they had a good week of practice, get a kid's pizza. If they had a good week of practice, give them do a pool party, right? One thing we did in our programs is we had a Beast of the Week. So we gave a championship belt to the best performing athlete. And what that does is it creates an expectation that I'm going to get rewarded for my hard work. And this creates a very, very competitive environment. So again, make sure you teach your kids how to execute the plays correctly, right? Number 2, make sure you critique these kids, okay? Make sure they're doing everything correctly, okay? And then number 3, repeated reps over and over and over so they can get better at what they do so they can dominate in the football season. Beast out.